Hi, Nikki here from Nikki Cain Lifestyle, and I am coming on to announce that I, after 20 years doing real estate, have lost my first listing. And I'm devastated. I've never lost a listing before, and I want to talk about why I lost that listing. And taking in feedback from the owner, his exact words were, you know, you're doing things in a big city fashion and we don't know it. We want to stick to the old style. We're not really trusting the process. Okay, and that makes sense. And of course, you know, at the end of the day, it's your house. So you have to feel comfortable. You have to know that you think it's going to happen. But I want to talk about a couple of things. The big city style and trusting the process a little bit. Now, one of the things, to be honest with you, they did not say this, but I honestly believe that they thought I might have been full of a little bit. And let me tell you why. Because I had a big vision, and I do come with a vision that's a little bit more New York, but the reason I use that method for them is because their biggest goal, their priority at that point was to get the most money for the house. I would have broken records. I would have gotten them the most money for their house, because there are things that, you know, I would need to have people know. Number one, about the house, that they would get more money than just the average house around them. I would need to build a certain buzz so just more than the locals know that the house is for sale, right? You'd have to have a network. One of my biggest assets as a realtor, selling your house for the most money, is that I have an unmasked network. And this is the part where I think they might have thought, you know what, she's full of crap. I'm in a Ryan Serhant network.
Nikki.
Hi, and how are you?
Good. How are you?
A little done to work. Be patient with me. And you're the guy that broke can't. So how do I do it when I can't do it?
I want to write that down. I'm the guy that broke can't.
With 88 brokers around the nation, actually the world, but the point is, I have an exclusive access to this network, and when her home was listed, it went into that network. And Ryan Serhant himself knew about the house, and everybody in the network knew about the house. And it sounds lofty. I believe she was like, you don't know Ryan, you're not in the network. I'm tired of this. This is nuts. Let me go the normal way. And that's fine. But let's talk about why. If you want to sell your house for the most money and you want to break records and you really want to go with how much your house can possibly go, break your comfort zone, go with someone that thinks outside the box, and allow the process to happen. I felt a little bit sad, and somewhere along the line they got mad, because you know what? I think sometimes the New York does feel uncomfortable. It's fast paced, it's go-getter, it's friendly, but it does kind of seem, I don't know, hard-edged, maybe? Is that the word? Maybe a little bit hard-edged. And I would ask anybody that really wants to sell their house for top dollar, don't let that deter you. Don't let that deter you. There's nothing hard-edged about being told the truth. If the truth is, I can break records for your house. I will get you the absolute most money anybody will get you. That I promise you. Don't take it as arrogance. Take it as, I'm so glad I have a realtor that can do that. Mm-hmm. If I say your house is not going to get, you know, that much money, and let me show you why. However, we'll work to get the absolute most. You're going to get the most of me, period. You are. Because of the Ryan Serhant network. Because I have the sales expertise. Because I don't only have the local knowledge, but I have the international access and ways to sell real estate and what to sell. It's not just the house. And I was a little sad because they pulled out day of listing. If they had seen the listing presentation and the video I made, they would have been wowed. And I'm sad that they didn't get to that point. But that's okay. You know, they're going to meet the numbers that hopefully make them happy. And at the end of the day, I hope that they really get what they want to get. But I want to stress again, anybody that is selling a house, break your comfort zone. If somebody's bringing you something that's a wow factor, don't say I've never tried that before. You know why? You're going to miss out on thousands, maybe even tens of thousands of dollars. You're gonna also miss out on a new experience. With this experience, you can now take your next house you want to sell, and even if I'm not in the same town and you have moved to a different location, you can literally take these methods now and utilize them. The network is an access network, you know, it's a exclusive membership, but let's say you moved somewhere else or I moved somewhere else and I listed your house and I broke records and you knew I was in the network. Don't you think at that point, even if you call and said, is there any way you can alert everybody to my listing, Nikki, from that network, later on down the line, I would, of course I would. Of course I would. So that's what I wanted to say. I lost my first listing and it was a lesson for me. More so, I wanted it to be a learning point for everybody. My learning point was, I do things in a New York way. It did not hit me that it might be hard for them to believe or really understand or really be able to hold on to. If I'd known that, I would have spoken more about it, shown them more, not give them dates and they're wondering, well, why is this taking 3 weeks to go on the market as opposed to 1 week like I'm used to? You know, why are we having this ridiculous open house with a caterer? Why, you know, why? I could have answered those questions if I foresaw them coming. I understand why they didn't ask the questions. You know, people are saying, okay, that's her job, do it. So if you don't ask the questions, that's absolutely fine. It was on me to relay what I was doing and not taking it for granted that they knew the process. That was number one. And the second lesson, and this is for everybody else, like I said, if your goal is to get the most out of your house, and that means to consider everything. Call a realtor like me, like if you want to call me, I'm literally here if you're in Columbia, South Carolina. Call a realtor like me that does it a little bit differently, used to selling, you know, things that are in the New York market, used to looking at what really puts value in the house and bringing it, instead of saying, oh, 4 bedrooms, 3,000 square feet, everything, and really, you know, putting it onto a position where it's going to command more. It's going to command more for a couple of reasons. It's going to have recognition. People are going to know about it. People are going to get excited about it. I'm selling more than just a house. You're going to get top dollar. And at the end of the day, when you're selling a house, that should not deter you. That should excite you. So I just wanted to say, I wanted to share that story. It's a great lesson. I was in my comfort zone. I don't lose listings. That was weird for me. But I also learned that when people aren't used to what you're doing, let them know every step of the way, even if it doesn't make sense to them. Talk to them, be open, try to have them understand the process. But at the end of the day, say, listen, trust the process. At the end of the day, what you wanted was the absolute best price you can fetch for this house. And I'm your girl for that. Give it a chance to work. Ask me questions if you want to sell your home. Ask me exactly how and why I can get the most, even though I really covered it here, but I mean intimately, specifically. And but yeah, that's it. I wanted to share with you that. Don't be afraid to try new things. Trust the process, because the only way you know if something works, when somebody's saying it works, is if you let it play through. Thank you guys for tuning in. I am okay. I am, you know, I'm very happy for everybody that sells their house. Really wish the best for those, you know, ex-clients of mine, and I feel like I let them down, so that sucks. I wish I said more so that they could feel comfortable, so they could have met the mark with me. I definitely wouldn't have disappointed them in that regard, but I did disappoint them in communication. And that's why I'm communicating now with all of you. So you know, if you call me for a listing agreement and you want me to sell your house and you want top dollar for that house, I'm going to have methods and I'm going to ask you to trust because they work. That's it, guys. Thank you. And I will talk to you soon.